First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and the last quarter is falling down. And the core is still in one piece, and that's why I like this technique. Hello YouTube! Welcome to another Swiss Army Knife project video. Hey, the autumn is here. So the leaves of the trees change the colors, the days getting shorter, and at night the temperature drops down against the freezing point. But the positive thing is, the nuts in our nature are ripe. So here in my area we have beech nuts, hazelnuts and walnuts. Since long time I carry the idea with me to create a nut cracker with just a knife and natural materials I find here in this area. But there are so many variations of different nut crackers that I didn't know which one is the best. Some weeks ago I visited my YouTube friend Lucas from the YouTube channel Jenny Swiss. The link to his channel you find here in the description box below. This summer, Lucas bought an old farmhouse in Alsace in France, and now he lives there. In the region of Alsace you can find many walnut trees. And of course, also on the property from Lucas was a fantastic example of such a tree. As I told Lucas from my plans to make a video about how to make a walnut cracker, he showed me how the locals open the walnuts. And I tell you, my friends, I was immediately fascinated about this technique. I was totally flashed about this technique. I never saw before this way to open a walnut. So now I want to show you how this technique works. So this is a walnut with pointy end and the flat end. On the flat end the nut is hanging on the tree, and this is the pointy end. Now hold the nut like this between index finger and thumb, that the pointy end is on top. Now hit with the hammer on the pointy end. And what happened is that the nut shell cracks in 4 quarters. Like this. 1 quarter, 2nd quarter, 3rd quarter, and last quarter. The shell breaks always in 4 pieces, and that with a reliability that can't be a coincidence. I don't have an explanation for this phenomenon, but I have a guess, and for that let's have a closer look inside the nut. That the walnut cracks along the seam where the 2 halves are grown together, that's clear for me. That makes sense. But the second crack, this one, who makes quarters out of the halves, this crack is not totally clear for me. But if you look inside, you can see along this second crack is always a separation layer. And I can imagine that this separation layer is responsible that the crack goes along this layer. But if you know more, please let me know in the comment section below. And the second thing is, if these nuts are hanging on the tree, they are surrounded by a green fat husk. And when this husk want to release the nut, it tears in 4 sectors and open like this. And the splitting lines where these husks open is also here, here, here and here. At least as much I could see on the tree. But this can be also a reason why the nut split in 4 segments if you hit on the tip. What I want to do now is to create a nut cracker which is based on the technique I learned from Lucas. But I don't want to hold the nut by hand. I want to integrate a nut holder on the hammer. Or I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing now, but I hope at the end we will have a useful tool. So this is the result of my 2-hour development, and because these cheeks are movable, you can hold different sizes of nuts, small nut and the bigger nut. So the small nut is holding and or the bigger nut. And now I will try out if this tool works. Great! Can you see that? First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and here come out last quarter and the whole nut. Second quarter, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, last quarter, and almost whole nut. So to be honest, I really like to open nuts with my new creation. I like this nut cracker. It works not perfect, but it works well. And every time if I try to open a nut, the nut shell got splitted in 4 segments, and this is amazing. Because you have 4 segments, you can peel the nut quite well, and the nut core was never crumbled in 1,000 pieces. Sometimes I had 1 piece, 2 pieces or 4 pieces, but it was never crumbled in 1,000 pieces. And this is super important, I think. So my friends, if you know more about nuts, if you know more about super cool styles of nut crackers or something like this, please let me know in the comment section below. Right now I realized that I would like to try out if I can press oil out of these nut cores with a self-made DIY bushcraft style oil press. No idea how it should work, but we will see. Maybe this is topic of one of the next videos. So that's it for today. I hope this was a fun project for you. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and see you next Friday. Ciao!